Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Learning Corner with me, Kristopher motherfucking McCoy. Sorry, it's taken me a while to get back into reading. It wasn't my intent to take this long. We should have been done this book by now, but unfortunately, I have had some things happen that have caused a little bit of a delay. So we're gonna get right into it, okay? All right, let's take a quick. All right, so chapter 14. Every Day of Friday, written by Joel Osteen. We are on chapter 14. Okay, there we go. All right. Connecting with the right people. Your destiny is too great to reach on your own. God has already arranged supporters to speak faith into you. He has placed others in your path to inspire you, to challenge you, to help you grow and accomplish your dreams. But some people never reach their highest potential because they never get away from the wrong people. Not everyone can go where God is taking you. Connect with those who understand your destiny, friends who appreciate your uniqueness, encourages who can call forth your seed. Sorry about that, y'all. Plane going over there. Your seed of greatness. You do not need those who push you down, tell you what you cannot become, and never give their approval, even when you do well. God will replace the negative with the positive. If you remove the negative people from your life, God will bring positive people into it. Is your inner circle of friends holding you back? Are those closest to you with you, but not for you? If you find that it takes constant effort to win their support and encouragement, they likely don't understand your destiny. The scripture says, "Do not throw your pearls before swine." Matthew 7:6 in the NASB version. You could say your pearl is your gift, your personality. It's who you are. Sorry, it's who you are. When you get around true friends, people who really believe in you, they won't be jealous of your gift. They won't constantly question who you are. They won't try to talk you out of your dreams. It will be just the opposite. They'll help you polish your pearl. They'll give you ideas. They'll connect you with people they know. They'll help push you further along. Do not waste time with people who don't value your gifts or appreciate what you have to offer. That's casting your pearl before swine. Those closest to you should celebrate who you are and be happy when you succeed. There shouldn't They should believe in the very best of you. If that doesn't describe those in your inner circle, move them out. You can be nice, you can still be friends from a distance, but your time is too valuable to spend with people who are not 100% for you. It's not the quantity of friends that's important, it's the quality of friends. I would rather have two good friends who I know are for me 100% than have 50 friends who are only for me 80%. Scripture shares the story see in Mark 5:22 through 24 as well as 35 through 43 of a man named Jairus who pled with Jesus to come to his house where his daughter lay dying and heal her. Jesus and the man were on their way when word came by a messenger, "You don't need to come. She's already died." But Jesus replied, "Don't worry about it. She'll be okay. We're coming anyway." Jesus would not let anyone go with him except Peter, James, and John. They were members of his inner circle. Now the others with him were good people too. They loved the Lord, but Jesus said, "I only want these three to go." Why was that? Jesus knew what he entered. Jesus knew when he entered the room where the little girl was dead. He needed to be surrounded by true believers who would not question who he or what he intended to do. Jesus did not need doubters or skeptics asking, "Are you sure you're the Son of God? Have you ever done this before? What if it doesn't work? Do you have a backup plan?" When you are in the when you are in the heat of the battle and need God's favor, you can't afford to have naysayers and doubters in your inner circle. Jesus did not need to hear things like that. "Do you really think she'll get well? My grandmother died of the same thing." When you are in the heat of the battle and need God's favor, you cannot afford to have naysayers and doubters in your inner circle. That's a true fact. Let me bring this down a second here. We all need people who are joined in the spirit with us and say, if you're bold enough to believe, count me in. I'm bold enough to agree with you. You need supporters who will come into agreement with you and release their faith, not doubters who will tell you what you cannot do. When Jesus entered the child's room, all those gathered were distraught and weeping. Don't be upset. She's not dead, Jesus said. She's only asleep. Some mourners turned on Jesus, mocking him. His response in one of the keys to living a life of victory, Mark 5:40 says, they laughed and jeered at him, but Jesus put them all out. AMP version. Jesus showed them the door. His attitude was, I do not need your doubt. If you find yourself surrounded by people who mock and doubt you, show them the door just as Jesus did. He didn't allow anyone in the room except the girl's parents and his inner circle. He then spoke to the child, and she came back to life. Jesus could have healed her in front of the laughing and mocking crowd. He's the Son of God. He can do anything. But I believe Jesus wanted to make the point that your inner circle is extremely important. If Jesus took the time to weed out the doubters, surely you and I should be that concerned about our own inner circle. Evaluate your team. Who's speaking into your life? Who are you giving your time and energy to? Who are you meeting for lunch every day? Who are you texting? Are those your are those in your inner circle building you up or tearing you down? Are they inspiring you to go further, or are they telling you that you can't do it? Are they modeling excellence, integrity, generosity, and godliness? Or are they lazy compromisers going nowhere? Don't waste your time with anyone who drags you down instead of making you better. I once worked with a man who just wore down the entire office. He spoiled every fresh idea that came along. He was a fun sponge, soaking up all the enthusiasm and laughter, draining us dry. When he announced after many years that he was leaving, we held a farewell party. But I have to admit, I was celebrating something different than he was. His departure lifted a burden on our entire staff. I did my best to act sad, but on the inside I was jumping up and down. Once he was gone, it was like night turned to day. We didn't realize how much one negative person in our inner circle could affect the rest of our team. You may not be aware of the draining effects of a negative person is having on you. How much more could you accomplish, grow, and enjoy if you moved out of those who are wait, if you moved out those who are with you but not for you? Make sure the people in your inner circle believe in you. They should celebrate your gifts and push you ahead, not hold you back. I can't think of anything worse than to come to the end of my life realizing that someone you trusted kept you from becoming the person God created you to be. You may be fearful of losing friends and being lonely, but you never give up something for God that he didn't make up for you by giving you something better in return. If you'll make the change, God will not only give you new friends, he will give you the better friends. Friends about whom you don't have to wonder, are they for me or against me? Friends who don't try to manipulate you into who they want you to be, but rather they celebrate you and help you become who God has created you to be. Beware the negative and needy. As a minister, I expect that people in need will come to me. I welcome them and try to help in any way I can. That said, there are some people who just keep coming back for more. These negative, needy people constantly dump their problems on your doorstep and expect you to clean them up. They know only one song, it's sad. After crying with them through 8 or 9 verses, you'll realize they don't want to be helped or encouraged. They just want to unload on you. That's it right there. They bask in attention. They suck the energy right out of you. Spend an hour with them, and you'll feel like you've run a marathon. Needy people can abuse your kindness. Sometimes you have to put up with the difficulties of love and love them back to wholeness. But you can't spend your whole life knee deep in their troubles. You have a God given destiny to fulfill. I found that in some cases, the best help you can give negative, needy people is to not help them at all. Otherwise, you are just enabling their dysfunction. I agree with that. Iron sharpens iron. In Proverbs 27:17 says, as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another in the NIV version. Are your friends making you stronger? Are they challenging you to become a better parent, a better spouse, a better coworker, a better member of the community? You cannot soar with eagles as long as you are hanging out with the turkeys. Ooh. So rid yourself of relationships that drain you, drag you down, or leave you feeling the worse for wear. When I was in my early 20s, just a couple months ago, don't laugh, I really went to a very nice good-hearted young lady. I'm sorry. I regularly went to a very nice, good-hearted young lady for my haircuts. Unfortunately, every snip of the scissors brought another tale of woe. She unloaded on me even as she trimmed me up. Month after month, year after year, she poured into my ears her stories of being mistreated by her bosses, her relatives, and her girlfriends, and on and on. Every time I left her shop, I had less hair, but my head felt heavier. I felt depressed. I was depressed. She was a very good sad storyteller. She reminded me of the guy who was about to jump off the bridge and end his life. A good Samaritan ran over to save him, saying, "Don't jump, don't jump. Tell your troubles to me instead." 2 hours later, they both jumped. Oh wow. That's the way this young lady was. I did my best to encourage her. I would pray with her. I gave her money. I sent her customers. It was never enough. One day I realized what I'm telling you. I could not go anywhere. God was taking me with her in my life. Wait. I could not go where God was taking me with her in my life. I love her. I pray for her. I miss her good haircuts. But I couldn't fulfill my God given destiny with her putting poison in my ears month after month. So I made a change. You too may have to make a change where you do business, where you play baseball, where you work, where you shop. Your time on this earth is brief and valuable. You have a destiny to fulfill, and you cannot make it happen if you are carrying needy and negative people on your back. The solution is found in Mark 5:40. Show them the door, be kind, be polite, but pull away. Make a leap toward your destiny. In the scripture, you'll find the story of Elizabeth, who was struggling to have a baby. In those days, a lady was despised if she couldn't produce a child. Finally, late in life, Elizabeth conceived. She was so excited about being able to have this baby. For the first for the first few weeks, Elizabeth was just on cloud nine. Her dream was coming to pass. Then, as the delivery date approached, she began to worry. She'd never had a baby before. She was hoping and praying that everything would was okay, but 3 months, 4 months, 5 months passed, and she hadn't felt any movement. The longer it went, the more concerned she became. Then one day there was a knock on her door, an unexpected guest. It was her younger cousin, Mary, a teenager. Elizabeth opened the door. Mary gave her a great big hug and said, "Elizabeth, congratulations. I've heard the great news that you're having a baby." The scripture says in Luke 1:41, when Elizabeth heard Mary's greeting, the baby leaped in her womb, in the AMP version. God has designated people to come into your life to make your baby, your dream, or your promise a leap. These are positive, faith-filled people who will help bring your dreams to life and your promises to pass. Mary, of course, was a divine connection. She was ordained by the creator of the universe to bring hope, faith, and vision into Elizabeth's life. She didn't even have to say anything profound. She just said hello, and the promise within Elizabeth came to life. God has already lined up your Mary. When you meet the right people, they can simply say good morning and your dreams will leap. That's a supernatural connection. But here's a key. If you keep answering the door and your dreams never leap, you're answering the door for the wrong people. Ooh. Don't answer the door for a gossiper, a complainer, or a user. Answer the door only for those who inspire you, encourage you, and challenge you to fulfill your God given destiny. If you keep answering the door and your dreams never leap, you're answering the door for the wrong people. Mary was pregnant with Jesus, the Son of God. Elizabeth was pregnant with John, the Baptist. When the promise in Mary connected with the promise in Elizabeth, there was an explosion of faith. When you meet and mix with the right people, when you connect with the big dreamers and big doers, then the promise in you will connect with the promise in them. You will see God show up and do something supernatural in your lives. Like Elizabeth, you are carrying a promise. You know God has spoken to you, but maybe it's been a long time. Maybe you haven't felt any movement on the inside. Now you're thinking, did I hear God right? Is this the promise still in me? Am I still giving birth to this promise? I believe God sent me today to be one of your Marys concerning that dream of or hope of yours you're about to give up on. God is saying, it will come to pass. The promise is in you. It's alive and well. You may not see anything happening. You may feel that you didn't hear God directly, but God is still on the throne. Right now, God is arranging things in your favor. What God promises you, God will bring to pass. If you receive those words by faith, you'll feel something down in your spirit, a kick, a punch, a shove. What is that? That's your promise coming to life and coming alive. You are a child of the Most High God. You have seeds of greatness inside of you. There's no mistake you've made that is too large for the mercy of God. There's no obstacle too high, no sickness too great, and no dream too big. You and God are a majority. When you hear words like that, let them take root in you, and you will feel the faith spring up. That's your baby, your promise, starting to leap. Before long, you'll be convinced that you can achieve all that you desire through God's plan. But if you are able to become all He wait, but if you're able to become all God created you to be, you must fill your inner circle with people of vision, faith, and encouragement. It's not too late. You're not too old. You haven't made too many mistakes. The promise is still alive. Now it's up to you to eliminate those who are holding you back and replace them with those who lift you up. God has already sent them to your door. Let them in. Then, as iron sharpens iron, you will cut through your challenges and rise higher. I believe and I declare that just like Elizabeth, you will give birth to every promise God has put in your heart, and you will become everything God created you to be. That was chapter 14, y'all. I want to thank y'all so much for letting me read to y'all. We have part, if I'm not mistaken, 4 coming up. Yeah, part 4 is next with Travel Light. And then we'll be reading into chapter 15 here, and we'll just keep it going. But I'm going to start doing this every day again. I'm sorry that I dropped the ball there, y'all. But I want to remind you and remember to be kind, rewind, approve new dreams because, well, you deserve them. Every single one of you are beautiful, you're blessed, you're breaking down barriers, boundaries, and borders. Have hope, faith, and love during these trying times because they're tough. Know that you're a boss, my friend, but most of all, every single one of you, including myself, is a motherfucking beast, and beasts don't break. Thank you so much for joining me here at the Learning Corner with me, Superman, Kristopher, motherfucking McCoy. I love y'all. I'll see y'all soon. Peace and love, y'all. Peace and love.